Boom! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are in your part of the world as you are watching this broadcast. I appreciate you coming on and joining us for the Systems Summits broadcast. This morning's broadcast, we are on multiple platforms. So we're on Facebook. You can find me on my Facebook channel at Stan in Shields on Facebook. You can find us on the Philanthropreneur Facebook channel, and we are on YouTube on the Philanthropreneur's YouTube channel over there. Now, whichever platform that you happen to be watching us on, then we would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, or follow, whatever the case may be for that platform that you happen to be watching on. We appreciate you joining us. So this morning's broadcast is really going to be a very unique broadcast. We're going to be talking about business owners and business owners using speaking as a tool to grow their business. And as we go into this, I am going to shift the screen a little bit here. We're going to bring Jim Root onto the screen, and we have Jim Root with us. And Jim is Jim has been a serial entrepreneur for really his whole life and has learned some powerful lessons to help business owners get things done. Now, he's also an expert on productivity, and he is a professional speaker. This year, he will be stepping up as president of the Las Vegas chapter of the National Speakers Association. Yep. Now, Jim has joined the Systems Summit team to work with our presenters so they bring the most value to the attendees of our summits, but this is a big but also helps them to maximize their exposure on our platform and build their speaking business. That is huge. That is incredible. So Jim, welcome to the team.
Thank you for having me both on the show and on the team.
Absolutely. Now, maybe you can share a little bit about how the speaking business has changed over this past year.
Well, I'll tell you, this year, a lot of people would say is a better year for changes, right? And so what we have in the speaking business is mostly people that get into speaking because they want to inspire, motivate, or really entertain people from the stage. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. In fact, every speaker should be doing that. But what we have in the current world is everyone is on their screens. They're watching TV, they're watching Netflix, they're watching Zoom calls. And this idea of a speaker as an entertainer has really fallen off. If I want to be entertained, it used to be I go and I listen to a speaker live, but I don't want to just listen to a speaker on Zoom to be entertained. Netflix does a pretty good job of entertaining me. And so in the speaking world, there's both this change and this opportunity. The change is events are now no longer focused on just entertaining, inspiring, or motivating their attendees. What they're doing instead is they're trying to bring value. And that's something that we always should have been doing, but not a lot of speakers did. They focused on entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. I totally think that that is important and they need to do that. But these days, you've got to be bringing value because people are not going on a Zoom call or going on a virtual event just to be entertained. They want something. They're there for a reason. Right. So the opportunity and what I do with my speakers, the National Speakers Association, is this is now an opportunity for those that provide coaching services, that provide an extension beyond their speaking to really use the stage, to use speaking as an opportunity to sell their services, to sell their products. And this, I've been doing it for years from the stage. I've been a coach and a consultant for many years, and I've used the stage to get clients, but not all speakers do. So what I'm excited about is now And one of the reasons I've joined the team is I see the System Summits and the virtual event platform as a great way to market your business. So if you have a business, speaking is a great way to tell people a little bit about what you do, introduce them to you, give them a solid value, and also explain how you can help them take it even further. And that's what virtual events are meant to do these days. They're not just meant to be entertaining. They're meant to be value driven.
Yes, yes. Now, value is the key thing, and we're going to come back. I want to talk about that for just a second because you said something that I think is very key in that we should have been delivering value all along anyway.
Correct.
Right? So we're going to come back and chat about that. But first, let's welcome Dr. Victoria Boyd to the set.
Thank you. Hey, technology is not my friend today. I don't know what's going on.
Technology has been going haywire since at least last Friday, the December 4th, at least as far as the three of us are concerned. Right.
So because I've been trying to get on since 8:15, so I don't know. But hey, everybody, how you doing?
So now, Dr. Boyd, Jim just talked a little bit about this whole notion behind business owners using speaking, using the platform and that kind of a thing. But let's back up for just a second here. You've got your System Summits banner and logo and whatever.
Well, that's the journal. That's the brand new journal.
That's the journal. So let's just talk for just a second about what Systems Summits is. So tell everybody who you are and what Systems Summits is. And this is actually great because it really kind of ties right into what Jim was saying, at least some of what I expect you're going to say about yourself. So tell us about you and Systems Summits.
Absolutely. I'm the founder and president of the Philanthropreneur Foundation, a brick and mortar training center that opened about 2 years ago. But with the pandemic, everybody saw that, we had to find new ways. I had always been exploring the virtual conference format, have used virtual training for years and years, but really saw that System Summits could be our strategy to still reach those that need our services. So System Summits is a series of virtual summits or conferences that provides information for micro businesses and nonprofits, especially in the 5 core areas of project management, human resources, marketing and sales, business development, and accounting and finance. And each summit has its own theme. But we really have developed a platform that is valuable not only for those attendees that need to learn, become aware, get the education, find the resources, but we also wanted to provide value to our speakers. And so it's a great speaking platform. Businesses needed to learn how to transition to the virtual stage. This is going to be a mainstream strategy moving forward. It's not going to disappear. So if you are a business owner, you need to develop the skills of not only creating the content for a presentation, but then presenting it. So while we were all locked down, I wrote a book called Webinar Secrets. Have created training for that, which really supports business owners transitioning into a speaking platform and all of the tools and things like that. So that is System Summit. And what you see right here is the journal that went live on Amazon yesterday. It is a comprehensive journal broken down into those 5 core areas where you can keep notes on everything you see at System Summit, but also it's great if you are at a meeting and you're talking about your accounting or your finances, you can keep your notes in that tab area. And so it will help you organize all of the things you do. So that's a summary of what System Summit is.
All right, that is fantastic. And let me minimize this right here. So I am going to put a link up in just a minute for the journal. We can kind of see it now across the top of your screen, so it shows right there. But let's bounce back to Jim for a second with this whole statement about value and people and businesses or speakers providing value in the first place. Now, Jim, you are going to be much more of the expert on this, but it seems to me that when we get a speaker that is speaking and it's really more all about them and they're really not focused on delivering the value, that maybe those speakers are not the ones that sell the most from the stage, but you get the ones that really focus on how much value can they deliver to their audience, that those people are the ones that probably sell more. Is that a true statement, or is that, what do you think?
Absolutely. In fact, the way to look at this is a virtual event is someone looking at a screen, and a live event is someone going somewhere. And so when you go to a live event, the old world before virtual, you had all of these experiences that were bringing value to you as the attendee, right? You got to be in a room in the main stage with all your friends and you were talking to them and networking. And so the entertainment was really secondary. So a lot of these keynote speakers, they focused on entertainment because that was their purpose for being there. And so speakers felt like that was what they needed to do, is to entertain and inspire from the stage. But as an attendee, I'm really going to that event to get value. And these days, I'm looking at a TV screen, and to be honest, I can be entertained by, like I said, I can be entertained by Netflix. I don't need a speaker to entertain me at a virtual event. What I want a speaker to do is to give me value. I am coming here for something. And you made a good point. They always should have been doing that, but they didn't really need to, because the value to the attendee was coming from a different area. But nowadays, you're not getting that value. And you can imagine and we've all been to virtual events, so you can you can apply this to your own experience. When someone comes in and they're just entertaining and they're just inspirational and they're just motivational, at the end of it, they say, well, thank you very much. And you're left with this sensation that what's next? It's like, well, now what? You know, I want more. I want a deeper understanding of what you've shared with me. And if they don't have something like that to offer, then you end up feeling let down. And so the breakout rooms at events were really what the whole virtual world is now. Breakout rooms is where you generally found value. That's where you have someone in a more intimate situation sharing a valuable action tip of some sort. And so the virtual events should be designed around those breakout sessions. Right. Because if you're trying to have a corollary between a live event and a virtual event, that's the way I see it. Virtual events are meant to be like those breakout sessions. Right. You're bringing solid value.
And that is what Dr. Boyd really envisioned and had in mind with System Summits was, in fact, some of the guidelines for the speakers are that they are bringing value. They're bringing strategies, tips, information that people can walk away with, that actionable items. Is that right, Dr. Boyd? Is that how you saw that?
Absolutely, and that's how I position it. It's education, value-driven, simple solutions where attendees can walk away with actionable items that they can implement immediately. That was the long version, actually, but and that is the foundation of what I ask us presenters to bring. It's not a speak to sell; it's educational, and the speak to sell or the sell component is the bonus that actually evolves out of providing such valuable information. People want to connect with you. They want that learn more or get more, or I've got to put them in my circle. So yes, it education, and I'm from that whole education is key format. And so it is really what is driving me in producing System Summit, and all of the tools and supports systems that I put together is educationally bound.
Okay, very good. So now let's maybe shift gears a little bit as we go forward, and we're thinking about these speakers that are, as we put together this upcoming summit. So the next summit is January 27th, 28th, and you can always go get more information. I had the website at the top, but it kept covering up my head, so I moved it. But
Well, it's on top of my head.
but it's
Systemsummit.com
there
will
you
give you
go.
information, and this it's a call for speakers right now, but it still gives you a good overview of what the summit is about. That will be shifting out on, I'll say, Christmas Day,
Okay. Okay.
where we will be talking about the next summit. So, but
Right.
yes, systemsummit.com.
Right.
You'll get more information.
And so we've got this call for speakers that's out right now. We're looking for speakers that would be interested in speaking at an event like this. But what's the value to the speakers then? What do they get out of speaking at System Summit? So I'm going to let Dr. Boyd, you answer that first, but then we're going to go to Jim Root and get his take on it as well. Okay.
And I want to actually thank Jim, because I'm just so used to putting together content that I sometimes don't value what I do. And I had really put together all of these graphics and support things and email swipe copy, and didn't really, I mean, I spent a lot of time putting them together, but really didn't transition it into, these are marketing assets. And Jim brought that to the forefront and it basically put it in my face. That is so valuable. And so now it's evolved even to a bigger package. It's even more valuable. And I'll throw it over to Jim because he's coming from that presentation perspective. I'm coming from the content development. And, this is what we need for the summit. But go ahead, Jim. Tell them how you see the value asset of all of that.
So thank you very much. And you've done a great job creating all of these things. And my background in business development, in productivity, as well as the speaking, has really allowed me to see the value to the presenters. And so what it really comes down to is this platform, the System Summits, is a great place to promote your business. It's helpful if you're a speaker that has a business. But my point is it's much easier to get a business owner and turn them into a competent speaker than it is to get a speaker that doesn't have a business and turn them into an actual business owner. And so when we at the System Summit, my job here is to find those business owners that really want to leverage the stage, leverage the virtual world. And so what you've done, Dr. Boyd, with all the content and the things that you've created from this platform is you've given them two pieces that are very important for their promotional value, for their marketing value. The first one is resources, the swipe copy, the email content, the social media content, the platform itself. So resources is the first part. And there's really three pieces to this. Resources is one, and then training is the next piece. And Dr. Boyd has done a great job of creating all sorts of training videos and items to help these presenters to promote themselves. And what I bring is the third part of this, which is accountability. I know how to make sure that all of those things work to the benefit of the speaker, to the benefit of the presenter and the attendees. So when you put together the resources, the training, and the accountability, what we have as a business owner coming on to the System Summits is this becomes a marketing platform for you and your services. And that's really what we want, is we want this to be a real opportunity to showcase what you do and what you can do for the business community.
Nice.
Very good.
Let's see here. So if someone is interested in being a speaker, they want to get on a platform, okay, what should they do? Dr.
Well,
Boyd.
if they want to reach out to me, my contact information was scrolling at the bottom of the screen a little earlier, but you can either reach out to me directly or you can go to the systemsummits.com. There is a call for speakers button there. Either one of those is fine. I'd be happy to talk with you about your business model. Because keep in mind, we're not talking about people that just want to speak, that want to entertain. That's, of course, important. But we want to focus on bridging the gap between the entertainment, the stagecraft, and the messaging and your business. we want to make sure that there is a clear connection there, because that's what people are looking for. And that's really where you're going to get the greatest benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean, as soon as they enter, it's called a speaker inquiry. It's a little short form, just providing contact information and what your title or topic might be. We then reach out to you. We look at it. We see if it aligns with our goals, providing resources, systems, processes for our attendees, micro businesses, nonprofits. And if there's alignment, then we go and a second step of, okay, give us more detail of what your presentation really is. And so it's a strategy that really onboards speakers, and it helps them understand really what we need and what we're looking for. It also will help them think, hopefully, about, okay, so maybe I do need to tweak my presentation, because this is an opportunity to present your services. It is not a speak to sell platform. We talked about that educational, value-driven content. Present yourself as authority or an expert in your area. You could talk about something that's totally just in your industry, trends that you need to pay attention to and things like that. But then, move it through seeding, it's called seeding, and help them understand why they need to connect with you further. And that's why the platform that we have for the summit itself, we tweaked it a little bit. We're actually going to have speaker office hours where the attendees, and this is your opportunity now to build a relationship, to make that one-on-one connection. And so to me, that's a whole nother asset that we're providing in this whole marketing platform. So that's pretty much in a nutshell how I envision it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, kind of shifting gears again here. Here's something that I see with a number of people that, well, one, I see this with people who say, I am a speaker. And then as you look at their speaking, their quality of presentation leaves a little bit to be desired, let's say. How can we help them with any of that prior to them, presenting at the summit or something like that? So let's see, Dr. Boyd, tell us what you've got an answer to that, and Jim has an answer to that. So I can see. So what do you say?
Absolutely. And that has been an underlying, or one of our core values, is to improve the quality of the content. And that was one reason why I wrote Webinar Secrets, because I really talk about not only what are your goals and objectives, but then how do you present it? And you have to think about who is your audience. These are adults. And so you need to implement adult learning strategies, e-learning strategies, multiple intelligences, plus combine that with how you deliver it and the production aspect. And so with Webinar Secrets, the training that will go live, I want to say within the next 7 to 10 days, it gets covered in all of that. Even how to write a description and title. These are all key elements of transitioning into this virtual space. Even when you go to live conferences, you read the title and description to decide, okay, yeah, I'll go to that one, I'll go to that one. And if it doesn't grab you right away and speak to you of, I need that information, you skip it. And so that same
but
thing.
What's even worse? What's even worse? If that title does grab you and you go, and then they don't do what they promised in that title, a total disconnect, that is horrible.
Yes. And so I walk them, it's a 7-part training. I walk them through every stage of developing their presentation, especially the educational value, the content, and how they put it together. My background is education. Jim comes from business strategists and developing. And so with both of those tools or resources available for you, just think how dynamic that presentation will be eventually. And as another aspect of the assets that you get, you can use this presentation over and over for many credibility, showing that you were on a stage with industry leaders, promotional, just marketing value. So, I mean, yeah, I could go on and on because I get really excited.
Yes, yes, you do. So, Jim, what's your comment? Jim's chomping at the bit. So he's sitting there. He's trying to be patient, but he's like chomping at the bit because he wants to say something.
No, I was not edgy at wanting to say something. I was agreeing with everything that she said, and
Okay.
it's great because that's really the key of this team of us at the System Summits, bringing value to attendees. And one of the things that you have to recognize is a good event has three parts. It has that's good for the presenter, it's good for the attendees, and it's good for the event. So operationally, it's easy for us. The value to the attendee is really high. That's why they're coming. And the value to the presenter is really high because they're getting an opportunity to present themselves. And all of the training aside, I work these things. My 2 cents worth in this whole process is working this backwards. I do this with all of my clients. What do you hope to accomplish? Then we go and build it from there. Because if you start with, I have this great message, I have this great presentation, it may not be connected to what you're trying to accomplish. So we want to make sure that we clearly define what you're trying to accomplish. And that's where I get to come in. Dr. Boyd is great at providing this sort of training, and I'm really good at the implementation and accountability part of it. It's like, look, you need to actually get it done. And here is where the rubber meets the road, right?
Yeah. And one more detail. Yeah. One more detail just that I feel makes System Summit stand out a little bit. The marketplace was flooded with Zooms, the Zoom virtual conferences, those types of platform where you might have 20 different little boxes with all these different people sort of smushed in, and System Summit uses technology, the latest technology, to present this training, these presentations. Each speaker has their own page where their presentation and the attendee can really focus on what that presentation is. And so it's on a platform that is built for education. It's on a platform that really allows each speaker to shine because they are presented individually. And plus you can add downloads and all of those things that are there forever. Once the Zoom is over, the downloads, the chat box, it goes away. Ours stays there as an educational platform for the lifetime of your presentation. You could even send some of your potential clients to that presentation to observe it. And so, like I said, I could go on and on about all of the benefits and features of how we have taken it a step further, but I just hope people will go and explore it and see what we have to offer and how it really truly could benefit their business strategies in the future.
Perfect. So, Jim, we're coming up on 29 minutes, and so it's almost time to end here. But let's go with Jim. Are there any other comments, any last items that you'd like for people to know with regard to whether it's speaking in general, speaking in this kind of an environment, this new virtual world that we're going into, or about what we're offering with System Summits, or any of that? Any last comments?
Absolutely. The simple thing is virtual is not going away. So you got to figure out how to use it. Even if everything goes back to normal tomorrow, virtual is still going to be here. So you have to know how to use it. And real value of System Summits and my value to the team is I'm able to really get the implementation down so that you're getting the most value you can out of these presentations. And they're a real brochure for your business, a real marketing tool for your business, because you shouldn't be looking at the event as an opportunity to promote yourself. The event is just one part of it. You should be doing pre-event marketing and post-event marketing, and I help you through that process.
Nice. Excellent. How about you, Dr. Boyd? Any final words?
Just know that we are here to support all of the businesses that want to make this transition. That's why we're here. And please reach out. I mean, we're here to answer questions. You can go to systemsummit.com or just system. Well, I don't even know how. Oh, there we
Let's
go.
do this. I put the journal up for
Okay,
us,
so that will take
you
them
can
to
see.
Amazon to actually purchase it. And
Right.
just know the $5 goes to the Philanthropreneur Foundation, a nonprofit. But yeah, you can reach me at vboyd@systemsummit.com. Real easy. vboyd@systemsummit.com.
So I had your info scrolling across the screen just a little bit ago, so that your contact info is there as
Yep,
well.
there's another
And
one.
there's different ones. You can reach her at a lot of different email addresses, right? So, all right. So we are going to wrap this up, but thank you both very much for being on and sharing your knowledge with people. I think that at the very least, if you are a business owner and you're looking for ways to get new business, then seriously consider starting to speak at events, whether they are virtual events or actual local events, to generate business, because there's probably no better way for people to really learn to know, like, and trust you than to actually see you and interact with you in person, right? And that in person could be on a virtual or it could be in an actual live event. But take advantage of that opportunity. And I would say take advantage of this opportunity with systemsummits.com to, if you're a little nervous about speaking or learning how to do any of that, this is a great opportunity and a great way to break the ice and to get into it, to learn how to do some of that. And if you're experienced with it, then by all means, we want to talk to you about it. But it all starts at systemsummits.com. You can go there if you're looking to speak. You can fill out the speaker inquiry form, and that will trigger everything. From that point, you'll get to talk to Dr. Boyd. You'll get to talk with Jim, and you'll get whatever additional information you need in order to get started. So it starts at systemsummits.com. And if you're going to join us for System Summit, if you were at the last one, you're going to be at this one, get the journal. It's a great way to keep track of all that you're learning, keeping it all in one place. Makes it super simple to find it when you're looking for it in the future. And it will be your easy go-to guide as to how to actually implement some of what you learn at the summit. So with that, guys, I want you to, we're gonna play our video here. So, and then as soon as that's done, we will be gone from this Facebook Live. So thank you for joining us. And remember that if you have not liked, subscribed, or followed, depending on whatever platform it is that you're on, make sure that you subscribe, like, and follow, and join us next time. We'll be back here again next Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. And I have no idea what we're going to be talking about, but it'll be fun. So come and join us. All right.
Micro businesses.
Micro businesses. That's what we're talking about next time. Perfect. Very good. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.